One of the most effective ways of cooking fish is on papillote. En papillote is normally a little case using tin foil, but one of the most effective ways of doing this is actually putting the fish into a piece of heavy-duty baking parchment. So it's bakewell paper, which has got a silicone a spray across the actual paper. What you want to do with it is cut out a strip and then fold it in half and cut out a very romantic heart shape. And that just basically gets rid of all the excess paper, which makes it much easier to fold over. This method of cooking is going to work with anything. So I've got a loin of hake, which has got skin on. You can do a single bass or bream fillet, or you can do them double together. Things like trout work really well, a single salmon fillet. Anything like that will work well. I wouldn't use something like a tuna or swordfish steak. They need a really intense char grilling to get some colour onto the outside. So with the paper, I'm going to take my fish and I'm going to sit it, in this particular case, skin side uppermost, on one side of the paper case. And then I'm going to choose what I want to add to this to flavour it. Now the idea with this is that you steam it. You add aromatics in the form of herbs, and I've got some dill, I've got a bit of wild garlic here, and I quite like to use that today. And I'm just going to break that open. You get a lovely smell it's like a fresh garlic smell, over the fish. The idea with the aromatics is that they are there to give you a really lovely aroma. They're not necessarily there to eat. With that, I'm going to put a little bit of pepper over the top. You can put salt in if you like. And I also want to create a little bit of steam. So I'm going to put a tiny drop of Pernod, which is a classic combination. It's an aniseed flavour, and it's a classic combination with fish. But it's important that you just put a drop. Too much and it's just too powerful. And that literally works perfectly. If you wanted to, you can put other ingredients in there, but most ingredients, and I'm thinking in this particular instance, leek, actually needs to be cooked down in a little bit of butter or water first to soften it, because this is not going to be in the oven long enough for it to cook through and the vegetables to cook through as well. But I wanted today to keep this really simple. I just want a little bit of lemon or lime over there. A piece of orange wedge would also be a really nice addition. Depends on how creative you're feeling. Squeeze that over the fish, and that's it. All I'm then going to do is fold the second piece over the top. Starting in the middle, I'm then going to twist and pinch the paper to form as much of a seal as I possibly can. It's important when you're wrapping the paper round that you keep it well away from the fish. If it's too close to the fish, the steam is not going to circulate around the fish during the cooking, and you want to make sure it's wrapped and sealed very carefully. Now, if you have a customer that is concerned about the aroma of fish in the house, and a lot of people don't like cooking fish at home because they think that the house ends up smelling of fish, this is a really effective way of keeping the aroma of fish under control in the house. So you wrap it up like this. When the fish cooks in the oven, the steam is there, and the only person who's going to really get a lovely waft of that is going to be the person who actually opens the parcel. So I folded it right to the edge, and then right at the end, you want to twist it into a little tail, and then it's ready to go into the oven. Now, for cooking this, you want to set the oven as high as it will go, so gas mark 9. And what is quite important is to actually take a baking sheet and put that baking sheet into the oven to begin with in order to get it really hot. Once it's up to temperature, you slide the paper case onto the hot baking sheet, and you'll instantly hear noise where it actually comes into contact, the moisture from there. And that fish today is going to take, I'm going to time it for 9 minutes. I'm going to say 9 minutes. If you've got 2 bass fillets, they take 12 minutes. If it's a whole bass, it's going to take about 18 to 20 minutes. The most important thing, though, is that you don't open the paper parcel when it's in the oven. That is left for the guest to actually open up and get that lovely, lovely seafood aroma when they actually open the package to eat. So what we need to do is to work out how well this is cooked, and you're going to press the fish. At the moment, I can see the fish is looking translucent through the paper. When it's cooked and I press it, it will no longer feel soft, it will have turned white, and by pressing it I will be able to feel the flakes separating under the skin. The en papillot's just come out of the oven. The paper's gone a lovely brown, and I can see the fish has lost its translucency, and I can see the white through the paper. By pressing it, I can also feel the flakes of the fish separate, which give me a really good idea that it's ready to go. The idea with this fish is that you then transfer the paper case onto a serving dish. You have salad and potatoes or whatever you want to serve with it on the side, and then your guest has the pleasure of actually tearing open the paper and getting the first lovely freshly cooked aroma from the fish. So you can either pull with your fingers or open up with a knife, and you get a lovely cooked fish. The skin's going to peel away and the fish is really beautifully cooked in the middle. And that actually is one of the most effective ways of steaming fish and keeping the smell or the aroma of the fish under control.